MrYorkieLoverFitness.com. Ladies and gentlemen, the first man to build 21-inch biceps, drug-free.
Hey, how you guys doing? This is Jason from Mr. Yorkie Lover Fitness, and this is Leroy Colbert's burial update number 3. So it's been a while since I made the last update, but I told you then that it was going to be a slow process, and it surely was. So the total cost of Leroy's cremation and burial, which is going to be at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery in this nice glass case that I talked about earlier, the whole cost was about $10,000. So what happened is I had one of Leroy's friends, and one of his good friends from back in the day, a fellow bodybuilder. He doesn't want his name to be mentioned, but him and his wife gave $1,000 to help with this fund, and so I was collecting donations, and I've been selling Leroy Colbert autograph sets and then putting that profit of those sets aside to help pay for everything. So first of all of you that gave donations, I'm very grateful. I'm sure Leroy would appreciate it, but I'm very grateful for your generosity. So through donations, we got about $1,000. And of the donations, $500 came from my good friend Jim Arrington. And for those of you who do not know, Jim Arrington is an 84-year-old bodybuilder. He only knew Leroy for a couple of years. I introduced them, and because they were around the same age and they'd grown up in the same time, just from 2 different backgrounds, and they hit it off right away. And but Jim himself gave me a check for $500. So that was with donations. That was $1,000 total. And then from the autograph profits that I've sold probably since Leroy's passing, I've probably sold about 50 to 60 autograph sets. And so the profit margin on those aren't too big, but I was able to collect about another $500 from the autograph profits. So then for myself, from my YouTube profits, and that they jump from month to month, and until recently, I've been on YouTube for like 7 years now, and until recently, I've never collected a dime for myself. I always gave the money to Leroy and then paid taxes with it from the profits themselves. And so from the profits and my salary, I put another $5,500 in to help pay for everything. And then about a month and a half ago, I was in contact with John Ballack, who is the Iron Man magazine publisher, and he was good friends with Leroy, and he was in talks with Betty Weeder. And those of you know Leroy's history, he was obviously good friends with Joe Weeder and Betty Weeder, and Joe was like a father to him, and helped Leroy get started in bodybuilding, because Leroy worked with him in his New Jersey store when he was just starting to sell his gyms and his weights and supplements. And then eventually, after Leroy's bodybuilding career was over, he helped Leroy start his first nutrition businesses, which Leroy continued up until 3 to 4 years prior to his death. So John Ballack told he asked how much I owed left on this memorial fund, and I said it was $3,000. So we had paid for everything up until $3,000. I was making $500 a month payments. I wasn't expecting any big donation, but he said I'll take care of it. And then a couple weeks later, he contacts me and says, "Hey, Betty Weeder's got the rest." So Betty Weeder came in and paid the last $3,000 straight to Hollywood Forever. And so now it's paid in full. So I was waiting. So everything's been paid. So I still have his ashes. So I'm waiting for everything to get finalized. And then so this week in the mail, I finally received this certificate stating that we now own that little plot where we're going to put Leroy. And so now we can go forward and finally put him to rest. So there's a couple things I have to do. Since he was cremated in Nevada, I guess there's some transfer thing I have to take care of, and it's like another $100. I got to take care of some transfer thing that you got to transfer his ashes to California. You know, if you live in California, you know they tax you on everything. They get fees on everything. Everything they're going to get a cut out of. So I got to take care of that. I'll talk with the lady who runs the memorial services at Hollywood Forever. She's been very helpful, and she'll help me with that. So, but let me just show you. This is the urn I got for Leroy, and I figured Leroy would like this. So this will go in this glass case. The glass case that he's going in is about 1 feet high, 1 foot deep, and 2 feet wide. So I'm going to have this. So if you look at this right here, it has his name, Leroy Colbert. It has his birth date and then the day he passed last year. And then at the bottom it has www.leroycolbert.com, and that's a website that I pay to keep going. And if you want to learn, you know, anyone that ever wants to learn anything about Leroy, he's got his whole history about his life, his friends with Arnold, Joe Weider, Lou Ferrigno, all these people up there, John Ballack, all these people, Betty Weider, and it's a really cool website, and I really want to keep that going, you know, to help with, you know, so people can learn more about him. But I figured he'd like this. He did like the color red. So this is a very nice little urn right here. But this will go in it, and then I'll have some pictures, some 8x10s with him on a couple of the magazine covers. I'll decorate it really nice, and I'll make a video once we do all that, once everything's finalized, so you guys can see, and then you can go check it out. So little by little, we're getting everything done. And like I said, I want to say thank you to everyone that helped, you know, give donations to help make this happen. It's been a slow process, but it's finally going to happen. So next week will be the anniversary of Leroy Colbert's death, and I'll make another video the day before that, and then on the day of his death, I'm going to release a video that he had filmed that we never released. You guys are going to like it. It's one of his versus videos where he takes on a fellow YouTuber, and those were always popular with his fans, and is one we just never released, and I'll explain why the day before the video comes out in a little commentary. But it's a good video. You guys are going to like it. And we still have the autograph sets for sale. You still have over 450 Leroy Colbert videos up on YouTube. So for those of you who are new to this channel, I still probably have probably good 20 more videos of Leroy that were never released to put out. Plus I have a bunch of phone conversations that we've had that are really interesting to hear insight in the you know, how Leroy was off camera, which is pretty close to being like he was on camera. But we just got, and then we got a bunch of other things that was never released. We got some radio interviews he had done in the past that was never released on YouTube. So we're still gonna be putting out Leroy Colbert, you know, information for the next probably 2 years. And like I said, this was all part of the plan too, is Leroy wanted to keep putting stuff out past his death. And the beauty of YouTube, it's going to be there forever. You know, even after I'm gone, it'll be there. And people, you know, from generations can learn about this great man and his contributions to bodybuilding. But I just wanted to make a quick update, and once again, thank everybody, you know, that's helped out. I'm glad we're finally, you know, getting one step ahead from being done with this. But hey, if you have any questions, go ahead and leave it in the comments. If you're not subscribed already, go ahead and subscribe. You know, like I said, I have a bunch more Leroy stuff coming out, plus other things. I film all aspects of bodybuilding, and I'm constantly putting up videos every week. And I want, once again, thank you for helping me put Leroy to rest, and thank you for supporting the channel. And I'll see you guys next time.
I quit this bitch.
Wait a minute. Before you click away, I want you to subscribe, like, comment, hell, even dislike if you want to. At least do something before you get out of here.